Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Teaching High School Science. I'm your host, Doc, and today's episode is one you will not want to miss because we're diving into something that every parent wonders about at some point, and that is, when is it time to hire a science tutor for your high schooler? And just as important, what should you be looking for in that tutor to make sure that your teen is getting the best possible support? So let's dive in. Welcome to Teaching High School Science. I'm your host, Doc, a former biochemist turned high school science teacher and private tutor. Whether you're homeschooling your teen through high school science or teaching online, join me as I share tips and strategies I've learned over the years for at-home and online labs and activities, breaking down complex concepts, and structuring learning in a way that makes sense. Now, let's dive into today's topics. First, let's talk about how do you know when it's time to step in and get that extra support for your child. I want to go through 4 telltale signs. First one is consistent struggles with homework and tests. So if your child is consistently struggling with science homework and getting low scores on tests, even though they're putting in that effort, that's a pretty clear signal that they need that extra help. It could mean that there are gaps in their understanding that just need some more focus and attention. It could mean that they need more practice. They get it in class, they get home, and they're struggling with being able to explain these concepts to you. Or they may feel that if they just submit some missing assignments, their grade will improve, but it don't stay there. And in my experience as a teacher, that can sometimes be because they miss the practice that they needed in that homework assignment that helped them grasp that next concept. And this can lead to my second telltale sign, which is low confidence. If they're struggling with homework, tests, submitting assignments on time, especially if it's due to gaps in knowledge, then their confidence can go down. And confidence is everything, right? If your once curious teen is suddenly shying away from science, feeling discouraged, or getting anxious before class, it's time to consider a tutor. A good tutor can help rebuild their confidence by breaking down tricky concepts and offering that positive reinforcement. Another sign is falling behind in class. Science moves a lot faster in high school than it did in middle school. Trust me, I know because I've taught both middle school and high school. In high school, we expect students to come to us with some type of background knowledge. So we're actually adding knowledge on top of things that we feel that they should know with a small review of that information. And if they have those gaps in knowledge, it's going to make them feel as if they haven't had time to properly dive into or master the first concept before having that new information piled on top. And this can make them feel as if they are drowning in new information. A tutor can help them to slow that pace down and give them more time to practice and fill in those gaps, as we talked about before. And that way they can catch up and they can stay caught up, and in often cases, get ahead. Now, that last signal that I want to talk about is that attitude shift towards science. Did your teen once love science, but now they seem frustrated, disinterested, they hate science, they hate the teacher, any or all of the above? That shift in attitude could be more than just a phase. It could be a sign that they're not getting something, that they're falling behind, that they're struggling, and a tutor in this case can help not only build that confidence, help them get ahead, but reignite that spark that they once had, that love that they once had in science. Because let's face it, your child can get it. Your child gets it. It's just that we all learn at different paces. We all need different strategies. And when they get to high school with the number of content and standards they have to learn, it can be overwhelming. Okay, so now that we've seen the signs, What exactly should you as a parent be looking for in a science tutor? I'm going to go through 5 key things that you want to look for. The first one is qualifications and their experience. You want a tutor who knows their stuff. For example, I have over 20 years of experience at the time of this recording, and that includes 4 years of teaching AP chemistry, both online and in person. So why is that important? If you're looking for AP chemistry, then I understand the do's and don'ts that they need for success if they're seeking to take the exam. And I understand the nuances of what they need to understand, what topics from their previous chemistry class they need to bring into AP chemistry. Now, if your student is taking AP physics, I would not be the tutor for you because I do not have experience at this time with AP physics exam. And I cannot relay those do's and don'ts with that particular exam. So understanding the qualifications and experiences of that tutor, not only if they understand the subject, but what experience do they have breaking down that topic, and are their experiences aligned with your students' goals? The second thing is proven results. Look for a tutor with a track record of helping students to improve their grades and their understandings. Look for testimonials from other parents and students, because those testimonials will give you insight into what kind of impact that tutor can really make with your student and what type of connection that tutor can make with their student, because that relationship will help to alleviate any stress, any anxiety, and other things that may come along with breaking down that confidence of your student. The third is a teaching style that fits your team. Everyone learns differently. So finding someone whose teaching style meshes with your child's learning style is key. I always focus on making lessons interactive, relatable, and most importantly, engaging. But that does not mean that my teaching style is going to meet the needs of your team. One way to check this is to look for any videos that the tutor may have out in social media. For example, I have a YouTube channel where I provide tutorial videos on different topics, and that can give your teen a taste of what it would be like to work with me. Flexibility is another thing you want to look at, because life gets busy regardless of if you're attending a traditional setting or homeschooling. So when you're talking to a tutor, ask them about how do they handle missed hours, timing, and everything of that nature that may go into that last minute change in schedule that will prevent your child from meeting with the tutor at the scheduled time that week. And the last thing I want to talk about would be that personalized approach. This fits in with the teaching style in that your teen deserves a tutor who takes the time to understand their strengths and their weaknesses. This is where they may provide customized study guides or practice problems. And that one-on-one time when they go through this work with them gives that tutor the opportunity to understand exactly what it is that your child is missing. So how this may look is that instead of going through a prescribed lesson on a topic, they take the time to ask your teen, what is it that you understand about this topic? It may be a discussion. It could be that they give them a customized study guide and just ask them to answer the questions, but it's some type of diagnostic tool or strategy where they get an understanding of where your teen is so that they can help them where they are and help them move to meet their goals. Now, I know I said that the personalized approach was going to be the last thing I talked about is in terms of what to look for in a tutor, but I do have one more. You want to look at their platform, meaning are they tutoring online, in person, a hybrid? What best meets your needs? For example, I only tutor online and I tutor through a platform called OutSchool. I've tutored off platform before, but I really like the security and the policies and things that OutSchool takes care of for parents. And that allows me to not think about the back end and just focus on the needs of your child. Some parents may not like OutSchool. Some of you may prefer to have a tutor that meets in a media center or in a public place like Panera. So taking the time to research how the tutor meets with your student and how that fits your lifestyle is extremely important because you want to set up routines and strategies that you can stay consistent with. So now that we've gone over how to know when you may need to hire that science tutor and what to look for in a science tutor, and if you've been nodding along thinking, yep, that sounds like my kid, it might be time to take that next step. Don't wait for things to get worse before getting help. Early intervention can turn things around very quickly. So if your teen is struggling in science, tutoring can give them the confidence and skills they need to succeed. And I'm here to help. Whether you're ready to book a session with me throughout school or just want to chat about options, availability, or want more advice, feel free to reach out to me. Visit my website and on the About tab, hit Contact, send me a message. It goes directly to my email. I hope this episode has given you some clarity on when and why you may want to hire a science tutor. Let me know if you have any questions, ideas, or other experiences that you'd like to share. Head on over to my podcast page, which you can access by visiting my website at thesciencementor.com. Then select podcast from the menu and subscribe now to the Teaching High School Science podcast for your regular dose of motivation and just-in-time science ideas. And together, let's make high school science a journey of exploration and achievement. Until next time, remember, curiosity leads to endless possibilities.